Do you want to play a fighting game that lets you play as mutant warriors that rip each other's limbs off? I bet you damn well do. BIOFREAKS is for the PlayStation. Well, actually, the cool intro guy will explain it better.
It is the not-too-distant future. Here, the mighty country known as America has fallen like all great empires throughout history. Its 50 states broken into private territories after what was called the Techno-Industrial Civil Wars. With Wall Street in shambles, the government bankrupt, and technological corporate giants running unorthodox takeovers, Neo-America was born.
How quaint. The basic idea here is that you're a bunch of freaks, bio-variety of course, that are forced to fight each other for a taste of victory. Many would claim that this is a Mortal Kombat clone, and they're partly right. There's a lot of blood and gore, which is awesome by the way, and the game even has its own fatalities, which in this case are called mutilations. But the game has its own charm as well. One thing I always enjoyed as a kid was the fact you could fight limbless and literally thrust your blood-pouring wound at the enemy, as if you still had a fist. Sadly, I'm nowhere near as good as I was years ago, and I can't remember any combos, but I can tell you characters generally have moves that you'd expect from a fighter, left kick, right kick, etc. But on top of this, you can use some awesome ranged weapons, which you can also use to make blood pour from your enemy, like the sweet juices revealed when squeezing an orange. I spent a lot of time in the training room to pick up new abilities, and of course each character has their own ability, so it took some time. Speaking of characters, there are some crazy choices here. Are you ready for some rather inventive names? Oh, I bet you are. So first we have Sabotage. Sabotage, yeah. A girl with a gun for an arm. I'll accept this is pretty tame for this game, actually. I don't really use this character because she's lame, so I'm not going to talk about her. Sorry. Bullseye, he's sort of an action man, psycho killer hybrid. He wields two gunblade-like weapons, and generally he's the most human male out of the lot of them. He has some good combos from what I remember, and the best mutilation, decapitation, mother truckers. Yes, it does rain blood. Delta, a sword-wielding girl with wings. Honestly, I don't really use her. I didn't back in the day because, well, there's a bit of a stigma attached to a fairy princess girl who flies around, so. But she does have two sword blade energy type weapons, and you can use those to do like an anime ranged attack where you fire an energy blast from them. She does have one of the best mutilations. She can cut you in half, which is kind of awesome. Next we have Purge. This is who I really would play as when I was little. I don't really know why. I think it's because he's like a mixture of a helicopter, modern tech, and I'm sort of a nerd, so I think that's why I played as him. He's a bit of a pyromaniac. He burns stuff. He's pretty awesome. He's got like these cool helicopter hands. I suppose he's the coolest. I think he's got the best ranged attack as well, sort of like fireballs he fires from his fists. To be honest, he's kind of cheap as well, so I guess that's why I liked him. Oh yeah, and he can slice people into ribbons. Then you have Minitech. He's a cyborg Minotaur. Sort of boring. You'd expect him to be a tank, but not really. He's as fast as the rest of the characters. Sort of, and he doesn't really have that much resistance to damage. He's okay, but I don't really use him. Zipperhead, he sort of freaked me out as a child. He's like a mutant chain gun freak, I guess. He has semi-automatic weapons attached to his hands, and he's sort of like a comic relief, although he's made to look pretty disturbing. At times he comes up with some pretty funny stuff. His mutilation is also pretty awesome. Then you have Sapo, an alien tank thing. This time he is sort of a tank, I guess. He's slow, pretty cool. He bites your freaking head off too, so be careful. That's pretty much it. Although the selection sounds small, the quality over quantity is good here. As you've seen, there's a good variety, so keep quiet. On top of a decent selection of characters, you also get some great maps, often with sort of like, I'm going to call them hazards. So there's like a giant crushy thing. I like to play on that one. It's like two giant rollers. Honestly, I don't know what that room was used for before it was an arena, because all it does is crush people to death. I assume it was probably used for some sort of insurance scam for losing limbs. Overall, this makes for an exciting multiplayer game. The graphics are a bit outdated. This is unique in many ways though, so it's replayable for me. Alright, thanks for watching, and you should really pick up a copy of this game if you find it. It's really quite good after all these years. See you soon.